Joe, I wanted to say a special thank you to you and Selig for supporting SAG-AFTRA and the SAG Awards parties that we've had over these many years. Four has it been?
I've lost count. 3, 4.
I know the feeling.
I just wanted to cover both hands at least.
We'll keep after it. I'm for 2 hands, absolutely. Let's do that. But I wanted to say thank you very much to the folks out there and Selig for supporting SAG Awards. We're in our 23rd year of this awards party, and we've been doing these parties in 3 cities, Dallas, Austin, and Houston. And this year we're supporting TXMPA, which is the Texas Motion Picture Alliance. And that is the advocacy group for the incentives. That it's really a rebate program that really help to encourage growth, indigenous creative production here, but also bring in the larger productions so that all of our people in front of and behind the camera can have work and live and grow here in Texas. So I'm here to say, want to get involved with TXMPA? Absolutely. Anyone who's in this business needs to be involved with it. But I'm also here to answer your questions if you have any questions about SAG and AFTRA and what we do.
Right. Well, so first of all, Trish, it's so nice to meet you in person after all these years, because usually I'll see your name in the letter and the bulletin, but then I'll get to attend, but never get to see you in person. So it's nice to have this moment. What is it that keeps you just motivated in doing what you do through SAG?
Yeah, SAG has finally merged with AFTRA, and for those who don't know, it's Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. Big SAG-AFTRA is easier to say, and it's those 2 organizations are 80 some odd years old, and now we are in our 5th year as a merged organization, but we are the union for professional actors. And people seem so surprised when they find out, we've got professionals in Texas? Yes, we have over 2,500 professional SAG-AFTRA performers who work in commercials, in video games, in film, TV. If you're seeing a corporate educational training film at JCPenney or some of the other corporate firms around town, you're seeing our members at work. If you're seeing broadcasters on television or hearing them on radio, those are our members. So we are here. We've been here since '69, and we are growing. We are continuing to grow. Our members are incredible, with incredible depth, and they work all over the world. So we are here really to help promote the industry from in front of the camera, while we also serve to help those who are behind the camera.
So how can people attain eligibility to join SAG?
Yeah, it's one of those things, it's a career move, my favorite story is when I go home for Thanksgiving and you tell somebody you're an actor, how do you prove it? Oh, don't you want to get a real job? Basically, most of our members say, oh, here, let me show you. It's my card. I've worked hard for it. To become eligible, you have to have worked on a union set on one of the SAG-AFTRA contracts as a principal performer, not an extra, but as a principal. And we hire more principals in this state. There is some extra coverage, but it's rare.
And can you clarify this misconception? So sometimes I'll hear from message boards or just informal discussions where there might be someone that's eligible after having done the requisite work, but they feel like if they're in Texas, they want to make the leap to join SAG, but not yet because they feel like they can get more experience on non-union projects, so they kind of want to hold off and maybe never join. So how do you clear up that misconception of that they should join as opposed to just doing what they do?
It's a tough market to begin with. It's very competitive, and I would say if anybody's going to work in commercials, that's a lot of non-union work, and you have to be very careful about what you are choosing to work in, because once you establish yourself with a particular client, a corporation or a product, you're pretty locked in on that, and if they've paid you a very measly sum for that, you've given away pretty much the prize. Our film work, our corporate educational work is all done at multiple levels, and people can join and work those projects very easily. We're kind of dealing when people say, I want to wait to join until I go to LA or New York. That's mainly a pre-2000 look at the market. Now that we have these incentives statewide, and we're competing with Atlanta and New Orleans and Chicago, you may be surprised to find out there is more production in TV and film happening in between the coast than in New York and in LA. So it's important for you to establish your professionalism now. There's no need to wait. In fact, you can compete better in between the coasts than you can on the coast.
What are some personal stories about Texas that you'd like to share that just says to you, this is what I love about this state. This is why I'm here and not on the coasts?
You know, I've spent my whole career here in Texas. I started out as an actor. I started professionally in 80. In 85, I got my card, and I worked for almost 3 decades as an actor before I became a staff member. So I have a real soft spot for Texas in my heart. This is where my career has been. But one of the reasons I am so passionate about Texas is because I've seen the depth of talent in front of and behind the camera. The creativity in this state abounds. And we used to do, I will tell you, we used to do a drinking game whereby you'd look at any award show and you would say, what's the Texas connection? There is always a Texas connection of one sort or another. And it's hysterical when you find out how many people have either worked here and decided to move their families here, or were born here and decided, oh, they're going to go make a living on the coast, but now they're coming back here. Texas is a place where we have been creative for generations. The film business began in Texas with Howard Hughes and the film in the 20s, Wings. We have a long legacy of film in the state and a long legacy of talent. I'm very excited and very pleased to be a part of this community and help grow production.
And also with TXMPA, there's been its share of ups and downs in trying to get incentives and things like that.
Right.
But what keeps you hopeful that Texas will come around and still be a very popular, hopefully, mecca for filmmaking?
People like you, Joe. People who are interested in the industry. We have touched so many people in the industry with the incentive rebate program, but we've also touched many small businesses, the lumberyard, the dry cleaner, of course the tourism, the hotel, and the restaurants. But there are retailers. There are all kinds of small businesses out there in smaller communities where film and TV production has come in and have raised the economic level in that community. Individuals like yourself who have a voice, who reach out to their particular legislator and say, this is important. I vote in your district. I own a home. I pay taxes. My children go to school here. This is an important industry to Texas. In fact, I'm going to blow your socks off. For every $1 Texas puts through the rebate program, $5.55 come back into the Texas economy. Exactly.
That's an investment.
Exactly. So we would be foolish to give up the rebate program that we're throwing away money. And as Robert Rodriguez has beautifully said in the PSA for TXMPA, we're giving the store away if we don't keep the rebate program funded.
Wow. So what are the websites that you would like our audience members to know?
Well, if they need something about SAG-AFTRA, they're welcome to contact me at the Dallas-Fort Worth local. But if it's TXMPA, and I sit on that board, as you can tell, I'm very proud of that board, txmpa.org is the place to go. There's lots of information there, action items happening. This is the legislative session. We need everyone to step up.
Well, Trish, thanks so much for taking the time to enlighten us about the state of things. And is there any chance that you'll venture back into the artistic and storytelling side that we can know more about?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm using my artistry behind the scenes right now. That's where I need to be. And you never know. Every day's a new day.
Trish, thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.